This is Lewis Up for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight. So delighted to join Russ Anber here in Belfast. We just saw Caiomhn Agyarko put a solid 8 rounds in. Yeah, you was obviously in the corner doing the cuts, and happy with what you saw there?
Yeah. Overall, great. I mean, you got to give credit to his opponent, though. I mean, this guy kept coming. I mean, we threw the kitchen sink at this kid, and he just kept coming and said, "Okay, come on." And I just went into his dressing room because guys like that deserve a certain amount of respect. You know, they take fights on last minute and they stay in there for 8 rounds. He's not winning the rounds. He's just trying, and he hangs in there. So I went into the dressing room, and he says, "I enjoy myself." I said, "Stop enjoying yourself so much. You know, don't enjoy yourself so much." Yeah. You know, but really gutsy performance, and you know, a tough fight for Caiomhn. Like, he had to work. He had to be careful. This guy kept coming, and you know, those are the kind of fights that give you the experience that you don't realize now, but 5 fights from now, this fight helps you out. Yeah.
I was going to say that, is it important for himself that he put in a performance, because he's had a bit of an activity, so it's important that he needed to put a performance in, needed to sort of be effective to put himself in the big names domestically at light middleweight. So
yeah, of course, there's no doubt about it. And he fought a super middle. He fought a super middle today. You know, so, and the guy was resistant. You know, he took the shots, and you could see by this kid's record, he's only been stopped once in his career. So we knew this was going to go the distance. We knew he was a tough guy. He was the bigger guy in there. We just needed to box him. But you know, skills are skills, and you know, he would make this guy pay when he'd miss and when he'd lunge. And I think overall a good performance and a great fight for the comeback to take away that inactivity.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And it's obviously been a little bit of an extended stay in the UK for yourself, doing the corner last week for Derek Chisora against Joe Joyce. I guess you've had like a week to sort of settle that performance of such an amazing fight and such an exhilarating fight. So as all the dust has settled, how do you sort of look back on that performance?
Well, it's not an extended stay enough, because if there was another fight, I'd rather stay another week. Yeah. You know, listen, that was. You're humbled when you see a performance like that, and I think even this guy that Caiomhn fought, you know, as a human, to be able to have that kind of heart and determination that you stay in there, and I'll tell you, Derek was near exhaustion. You know, I mean, he needed the ropes to hold him up. That's how tight, and he still kept fighting. And you know, at the end of it all, exhausted, he finds a shot to score a knockdown. You know, I mean, just huge. And same thing for Joe. I mean, Joe took some hellacious punches early in the fight, and then kept coming back. I mean, that fight, he really lived up to his name of the Juggernaut, because that's exactly what he was. Yeah. So that was a hell of a fight, but you don't want to have too many of those, because that's not healthy. I had a headache working the corner, you know, so yeah, it was a tough fight.
And when you're in a corner like that, where it's so emotionally charged and so much is going on because it's such a crazy fight, like, how do you even sort of deal with that? I guess obviously doing it with Alexis's trainer, but like, how do you deal with sort of a corner like that when there's such high stakes, I guess? Do you know what I mean?
Lewis, I stopped being a fan years ago. You know, I'm not a fan when I'm in the corner. I've got a job to do. I don't go crazy. I don't let my emotions get the better of me in the corner, unless I get mad at something. You know, then I'll get mad if the referee doesn't do something right, or the fighters. Then I might get mad. But I don't lose my head because everyone's going crazy because of the intensity of the fight. I've got a job to do. And Derek had a swelling under his eye as early as the 2nd round, and I was on that every round and kept it open. It might not seem much to the public, but if that was intended to, his eye would have swollen shut. You know, so we were able to keep it open. And you know, I'm not a fan when I'm in the corner. I'm a cut man. I'm a trainer. I'm a coach. I'm in the corner to help the fighter. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because I'll speak to other cut men and they'll say, you know, sometimes you don't actually get to like appreciate the fight because you're looking at their face. You're looking at, I'm sure you was the same. You're looking at Chisora and sort of making sure that his face is right. Do you ever look at that sometimes? You're so gripped in what's going on, you almost sort of don't realise the fight going on.
No, not really. No, because it's my job to see what's going on in the fight, both as a coach, because if I'm assisting in the corner and helping the trainer, giving advice, I'm watching. You know, I'm watching what's happening. You know, but I'm not a fan. I don't. Yeah, good punch. Yeah, okay, do this. No, I'm not like that. You know, you say the things you need to say at the right time and tend to the fighter and speak with your corner and make sure you and the corner are on the same wavelength, like we did here today with Bam and myself in the corner. We were talking. What should we do? Yes, we agreed on things. So we were both yelling the same instructions in the corner. It went well. That's important. I think people might not realize the subtleties of working a corner like that and how important that is.
When it comes to the future for Derek, he's talked about wanting 2 more fights. Is sort of happy to sort of see the 2 more fights with Derek?
You know, the sad thing is, and I did in all the interviews I did, and I think in speaking to you as well, leading up to that fight, is, you know, even if he was to fight the janitor, of the O2. He'd be in a war. You know what I mean? He's in a war every time he fights. So of course, as my friend and as somebody that I like and respect and admire in the career that he's had, you don't want to see him taking punishment. You know, that's the sad thing. But you know, you can't tell somebody they can't do something. And if he wants to have 2 more fights and he wants me in the corner, then I'm going to be there and I'll give him all the support I can.
Absolutely, for sure. And whilst I've got you, Russ, I've been silly not to ask about Oleksandr Usyk. Himself and Tyson Fury exchange videos this week, all the build up for December 21st. It seems like it's just starting to kick off now, so you must be absolutely excited.
Yeah, absolutely excited. You know, he's trying to take my scissors now. You see, they're attached to me, bro. They're not going to come off. Hang on.
Do you want me to
I'll get this off. That's okay. Here,
okay.
Get this off.
Perfect. There you go.
Okay. See, if I don't have that tied to my waist, then it's going to disappear, right? Now, it better not disappear, Teddy. So,
but it's us again.
Yeah. Listen, it's all talk. It's all hype. As we saw in the first fight, when all the talking was done, at the end of the day, you know, you had a winner and a loser, and that's what matters to me. I don't care. You can talk. It's all for show. You know, this is all to sell tickets and to get people to say, "Oh, did you see what he said?" And "Oh, did you see what he said?" I don't care. I don't care. Me, I care what the mental state of my fighter is when we're in camp and when we go into the ring. I don't care what was said before. I don't care what you do at the weigh-in. I don't care about the stare down. I don't care about none of that stuff. I care that my guy's ready, that he's in shape, he's mentally prepared to do the 12 rounds the way we want him to do them, just like he did it the first time. And that's what I'm going to be counting on again for the rematch.
I listened to an interview done with Boxing King Media literally just after the fight, I think it was on the Sunday after, and you said sort of you'd never wanted to get a win so bad over someone like the Fury. So the idea of doing it again must be a real sweet feeling, I suppose, for yourself where you look at.
No, I don't care. We did it once. You know, we did it when it counted.
To do it again would be nice.
To do it again would be nice, but we did it when it counted for the undisputed title. When everyone said he wouldn't do it, when everybody was, you know, not everyone, but a lot of people picking Fury to win. You know, we were the underdog, I think, going in. Everyone thought that Fury was too big, too smart. Fury thought he was too big, too strong, you know, for Usyk. And we did it the first time. That's what matters, you know. And of course, you want to do it a second time, obviously, you know. Like, you know, the same thing when Usyk beat Anthony the second time. You know, you want to have that second win and solidify it and put it to rest. And I think Usyk is the guy to do it.
And when we've seen with Usyk about when he's been in rematches, like the AJ rematch, you know, as much as AJ improved, Usyk got even better, and Fury may improve. So do you think even in this rematch that we could see an even better version than the first time?
Actually, to be honest with you, I don't think you saw the better version of Usyk. I think the Usyk that you would have seen on the originally scheduled date would have been a better version of Usyk. The second fight caused him to be a little stale, if you will, you know, like he had been peaked, ready to go. You know, I think you'd have seen a completely different Usyk, which you might see the Usyk this time around.
That's very exciting. Russ, as always, really, really good to catch up with you. Appreciate the time as always, mate. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the UK for a while you're here, mate. Top man, thank you, mate.